You think you are doing everything right by filling your cat's bowl every morning? But what if your daily routine is secretly destroying their health? Veterinarians are seeing a terrifying spike in preventable feline diseases, and the culprit is often right there in the food dish. Today, we are exposing the 10 deadly cat feeding mistakes that most owners completely ignore until it is too late. You might be making mistake number 1 right now, so pay close attention. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Number 10. Free feeding dry food. Leaving a bowl of dry kibble out all day might seem like a convenient way to keep your cat satisfied while you are at work, but it is a silent killer. Imagine eating from a never-ending buffet of crackers every single day. Your waistline and health would inevitably suffer. Cats are natural hunters, designed to eat small, distinct meals, not graze continuously on high-carbohydrate kibble. Vets frequently see cats rushed into clinics with severe diabetes and crippling joint pain, directly linked to the massive weight gain caused by free feeding. By turning your cat into a grazer, you are slowly eroding their health and shortening their lifespan. But weight gain is just the beginning of the nightmare. What you are actually putting in that bowl could be even more dangerous, as we will see next. Number 9. Ignoring thirst cues. Most owners fail to realize that domestic cats possess a notoriously low thirst drive, a genetic trait inherited from their desert-dwelling ancestors who absorbed moisture directly from their prey. When you feed your cat a strict diet of dry kibble without compensating for this lack of hydration, you are putting them on a fast track to chronic kidney disease. I once heard of a vibrant young cat named Oliver who seemed perfectly fine until he suddenly collapsed. His kidneys had been quietly failing for months due to chronic dehydration. Relying solely on a water bowl is a gamble you will eventually lose. You must actively introduce moisture into their diet to save their kidneys. And speaking of what they consume, the next mistake involves a toxic ingredient hiding in plain sight. Number 8. Cow's milk. Myth. Pop culture has brainwashed us into believing that a saucer of warm milk is the ultimate treat for a beloved feline. But this heartwarming image is actually a recipe for severe digestive agony. The reality is that the vast majority of adult cats are entirely lactose intolerant. When you pour them a bowl of cow's milk, their bodies simply cannot break down the sugars, leading to explosive diarrhea, painful stomach cramps, and dangerous dehydration. One owner rushed her beloved Tabby to the emergency room, thinking it had been poisoned, only to discover the culprit was a seemingly innocent splash of milk. Stop poisoning your pet with dairy. Unfortunately, dairy isn't the only human food that can cause catastrophic internal damage. Number 7. Dangerous human scraps. Tossing a piece of garlic-seasoned chicken or onion-laced gravy to your begging cat might feel like an act of love, but it is essentially a biological attack on their system. Onions, garlic, and chives contain compounds that literally destroy a cat's red blood cells, leading to a life-threatening condition called Heinz body anemia. I remember a devastating case where a family almost lost their kitten because they fed her baby food that contained hidden onion powder. The cat became lethargic, its gums turned pure white, and it needed an emergency blood transfusion just to survive. Your dinner plate is a minefield of toxins for your feline friend. Even if you stick to cat food, how you serve it can breed deadly bacteria, which brings us to our next point. Number 6. Filthy food bowls. You would never eat your own dinner off a dirty, unwashed plate that has been sitting on the floor for days. Yet millions of owners force their cats to do exactly that. Microscopic bacteria, including deadly strains of Salmonella and E. coli, multiply rapidly in the slimy biofilm left behind in unwashed cat bowls, especially if you feed them wet food. This invisible toxic sludge can cause severe gastrointestinal infections and feline acne that bursts into painful, bleeding sores on your cat's chin. A simple rinse is not enough. These bowls need to be scrubbed with hot, soapy water daily. If you think a dirty bowl is bad, wait until you hear about the fatal error owners make when trying to put their cats on a diet. Number 5. Sudden diet changes. Deciding to abruptly switch your cat's food to a cheaper brand, or suddenly cutting their portions in half to force weight loss, can trigger a fatal biological cascade. Cats have highly sensitive digestive tracts, and rapid dietary changes cause severe vomiting and intestinal inflammation. Even worse, if an overweight cat stops eating because they hate the new food, their body aggressively mobilizes fat stores to the liver, causing a lethal condition known as hepatic lipidosis, or fatty liver disease. A friend learned this the hard way when her cat stopped eating for just 3 days and ended up hospitalized on a feeding tube. You must transition their food incredibly slowly, but even with the right food, ignoring an essential nutrient will slowly blind them. Number 4. Taurine deficiency danger. Some well-meaning owners attempt to feed their cats dog food in a pinch, or try to formulate homemade vegan diets, completely unaware that they are condemning their pets to a life of darkness and heart failure. Cats are obligate carnivores, meaning their bodies absolutely require taurine, an amino acid found exclusively in animal tissue, to function. Without a steady supply of taurine, your cat's retinas will irreversibly degenerate until they go completely blind, and their heart muscle will weaken until it ultimately gives out. A vet recently shared a heartbreaking story of a beautiful Siamese that went totally blind simply because the owner fed it dog kibble for 6 months. Never compromise on meat. However, feeding them raw meat introduces an entirely different, terrifying threat. Number 3. Unsafe raw diets. The raw food trend is heavily marketed as a return to nature, but preparing it incorrectly in your kitchen is like playing Russian roulette with your cat's life. Raw meat from the grocery store is routinely contaminated with dangerous pathogens like Listeria and Salmonella, which not only threaten to ravage your cat's digestive system, but also pose a massive health risk to your human family. Moreover, DIY raw diets often severely lack crucial calcium and essential vitamins, leading to spontaneous bone fractures in growing kittens. One owner watched her kitten's legs literally break simply from jumping off a low couch due to severe nutritional deficiencies. If you must feed raw, it requires expert veterinary guidance. But there is a much more common oversight regarding bones. Number 2. Feeding cooked bones. Giving your cat a cooked chicken bone to chew on might seem like a natural treat, but you are effectively handing them a cluster of razor blades. When animal bones are cooked, they become incredibly brittle and splinter instantly upon being chewed. These razor-sharp fragments can easily puncture your cat's delicate esophagus, slice open their stomach lining, or cause a fatal intestinal blockage. Vets regularly perform emergency surgeries to extract jagged bone shards that are tearing a cat's internal organs apart from the inside out, often resulting in agonizing pain and massive vet bills. Stick to safe, specifically designed dental treats. We are now down to the final, most deadly mistake that almost every cat owner is guilty of making. Number 1. Ignoring portion control. The single most deadly mistake you can make is blindly trusting the feeding guidelines printed on the back of the cat food bag without considering your cat's specific lifestyle. Those manufacturer suggestions are notoriously inflated to sell more product, leading owners to massively overfeed their indoor sedentary cats. Feline obesity is an absolute epidemic that acts as a gateway to agonizing osteoarthritis, chronic respiratory distress, and fatal urinary tract blockages. I have seen owners cry in the vet's office upon realizing their chubby, cute cat is actually suffering from a shortened, painful life entirely due to overfeeding. You must measure their food with a precision kitchen scale and consult your vet for their exact caloric needs before it is too late. So guys, your cat's health is entirely in your hands, and avoiding these 10 deadly mistakes is the first step toward giving them the long, vibrant life they truly deserve. If you found this information eye-opening, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more crucial pet care advice. Drop a comment below telling us which of these feeding mistakes surprised you the most. Stay vigilant and keep your furry friends safe.